There are two areas in your business that you likely don't focus on enough, which is exactly why you're stuck below 10K per month. In the last 2 years, I've grown multiple different businesses, and 3 of those scaled past 10K per month in less than 3 weeks. Through these experiences, I've gained some very valuable insights, and I want to share them with you today. Today, I want to share the 2 areas that helped me grow my companies past 10K per month, and I will share actionable insights so that you can get there as well. If I knew these things earlier, I probably would have suffered much less and made money much faster. I know that there are a lot of YouTube videos like this online, but I will run you through my actual insights that I've gathered from actually doing it instead of yapping about something that I didn't really do myself. And by the way, don't worry, I'm not going to talk about waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning, taking an ice bath, and then meditating. These are 2 things that I had to learn the hard way, and I'm making this video so that you can learn it the easy way. So please give me a like on this video if you learned something. Enjoy. So the first area is appointment setting. And don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to send more messages or just do more volume. What most people do when they first start out is they get a lead list of like 1,000 leads, and then they just send the same generic outreach message to every single one of them. By the way, even if you name drop them and talk about one specific problem they have, that doesn't make it personalized. The problem is essentially what you're doing with this mechanism is you're going at 1,000 leads with a shotgun approach. You're just there to spray and pray and hope something hits. But unfortunately, that's not the way business works. Because as a business owner, you want to have high ticket, amazing, high value clients that bring you amazing case studies and pay you a lot of money. And you don't get those people by sending generic outreach messages to low quality prospects that you didn't even vet. So what's the solution to that? You have to send personalized, sniper-like outreach messages to perfect clients only and actually put effort into your pitches. You want to leverage high effort, high value, personalized pitch formats that resonate very well with your audience. So here are a couple of points that you want to keep in mind so that you can make sure every single pitch you send is a home run. First one, don't just send them the video pitch. With every single action that you want your prospect to take, you have to sell your prospect on actually taking that action, which means that no matter how small it is, you still have to sell them why it's good for them to pursue that action. Same thing with opening the video. So make it enticing for them. Which brings me to point number 2. The way in which you make it enticing for them is by touching on the right pain point. Because successful business owners care about making more money. And they make more money through solving problems. And so if you can send them a high effort, high value, personalized pitch video that not only shows them you actually put effort in, but besides that, you touch on the exact pain point, the number 1 pain point that they have, that if they were to solve would make them a lot more money, they will be responsive because they know that if that is done properly, it will make them a lot of money. So how can you get people to be responsive, not only clicking on the video, but then also actually taking action and bringing you a positive reply? Because if you touch on the right pain point, they will be responsive. Now, how can we actually find the right pain point? This one is very easy. And this is an answer that I know you won't like, but it's a simple one. Repetition. Research 100 people per day, and I can guarantee you, you know your ICP's problems to the T. And you're immediately able to spot exactly what the problem is. Now, you might say, okay, but I only run Facebook ads, or I only do content, or I only do this or that. Well, let me tell you something. If you want someone to pay you a big fat retainer, like for example, 7.5K per month, 10K per month, plus a revenue share, they see you as a literal business partner, which means that you have to go above and beyond with anything that's needed to make their business a lot more money, because that's how you're being incentivized as well. So do that. Educate yourself on a couple of different topics. Learn copywriting, learn sales processes, learn hiring and recruiting, learn building landing pages. And if you don't want to learn it yourself, that's fine. Learn how to outsource it and find talent for it. For the video length, I would recommend you doing about 3 to 5 minutes per pitch. And one thing that I want you to keep in mind, and this is very, very important as well, you will suck at it. And that's okay. You don't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be the highest quality pitch that anyone has ever seen. It's okay that in the beginning, you're just not as good at it, but that's good. Because the more you do it every single day, and I mean 7 days a week, the better you become and the faster you will see results. If you can actually craft and send perfect cold video pitches on a daily basis and craft ones that truly resonate with exactly who you're targeting for your ICP, then you will get lots of positive replies, booked calls, and sales. So that was area number 1. Now, area number 2, learn to talk to people. It sounds so simple, but hear me out. If I could only give you one piece of advice, literally one, and then we never talk again, it's this: talk to 100 people every single day. Because life and business as well are being built purely on relationships. Which means that if you can just present yourself the right way, have the right energy, know how to talk to people, know how to shake hands, know how to present yourself, and you talk to 100 people every single day, you'll get clients, team members, and business partners. I can't even count the amount of opportunities that I got through just talking to people. I signed a high amount of clients from it. I got team members from it. I got assistants, I got sellers, I got closers, I got ads people. I literally that way got to know my closest circle in the business space, just connecting with people at random, and then over time, these connections establish themselves because you attract who you are. So again, if I had to give you one piece of advice, and that one piece of advice has to change your life financially in the next 3 years, talk to 100 people every single day. And I promise you, you will make a lot of money from that. As I've talked about before, the most important part to all of this is understanding how to actually set proper, high quality appointments. So that's exactly what I'm going to dive into right now. So what I want to run through is my marketing flow, which I call high leverage appointment setting. And essentially what we're going to cover here will be how to create conversations, how to keep people in your attention ecosystem, how to actually set up the entire setting flow from the systematic authority to the step-by-step breakdown, and then how to frame people the right way. First step, how do we actually create conversations? For that, you need to ask yourself, what triggers can you actually leverage to spark conversations with your certain ICP? There are numerous triggers like this out there, but it's about using the ones that truly get the results. The first trigger that I want to run through here is third-party proof. This right here is a case study interview that I conducted with a client of mine. His name is Alex. And essentially, this case study interview made me so much more money than you could expect because of the simple reason that what people want to see before they buy your product is that you helped someone in their exact situation get to exactly where they want to be with your service. And so the third-party proof is incredibly relevant and has to be leveraged. Second thing is value. Right here, you can see me providing a value video to a certain prospective client, and these value videos position yourself as an authority. Through positioning myself as an authority in the space, I can yield trust and yield attention and make sure that they actually listen to what I have to say. From there, you want to integrate stories. So here you can actually see a case study interview that I conducted with one of my clients, Enzo, and Enzo went from $200 to 10.5K cash collected in round about 3 weeks. This case study interview does not only bring me third-party proof, but it actually also provides value to the audience, and it's done in a storytelling way because essentially what Enzo did here is he ran through exactly the story that he had. So if you can package the story that someone has, provide value, and through that provide third-party proof, that's one of the most important mechanisms that you can leverage to actually sign people. The next one, mutuals. If you can see, like here, for example, my man, 117 mutual friends, I could reach out to him right now because of that, and it would be pretty easy for me to spark a conversation because we have mutual friends. So you can leverage that as a foot in the door as well. The next trigger that you can actually leverage is personalization. So for example, if I was to reach out to Mr. Dan Cole, what I would do is I would investigate the entire system that he has for his business and his entire online presence until I know everything and anything around it. So when I know that, I can then send a personalized pitch and this is very important, press on the biggest pain point that he has. If you know that your prospect's biggest pain point, and now in addition to that, you always need to talk about the next trigger as well, which is the outcome, which is a stacked calendar. If you can make sure that you have case study interviews with third-party proof, where value is being provided with a story, then you reach out to people that you have mutuals with, and you make sure to have personalization, you touch on the right pain points and on the right outcomes. People will be responsive. And now the way in which I like actually reaching out to people is using VSLs. I send personalized, high value, high effort VSLs to every single prospect that I want to reach out to. And that is exactly why I get the positive replies, the bookings, and the clients signing on. Keep in mind that you always want your prospect to respond as quickly as possible. So make sure to do what's most important and has the highest likelihood of them replying first. And then afterwards, you go into the more insignificant triggers that you can leverage as well. If you struggle to spark conversations, that's the biggest roadblock that you have to overcome first. Ideally, you want to spark 100 plus conversations on a daily basis and spark interest. Ask yourself, what will make my ICP be responsive? Now, I want you to leverage that trigger to spark conversations. And you do this 7 days a week without any exceptions. As soon as you're now able to actually spark those conversations, you have people in your attention ecosystem. And the most important part to this is that you understand you have to be omnipresent. And what I mean by that is be in more places, more times with higher quality content. That means get on IG, get on YouTube, get on X, get on LinkedIn, get on Facebook, and establish CCCs, which stands for a consistent communication channel. Why do you actually want to be omnipresent and be on so many platforms at the same time? It's because you cannot really identify the exact customer journey that your clients have. Because you might send them an outbound message, then they connect with you on LinkedIn, then they check out your YouTube, they follow the YouTube for a while, for a couple of months, they watch the videos, then they book a call from YouTube, they no-show, and then over time, because they opted in, they are now in your email list, you nurture them and they convert. That client and that money would be attributed to emails, but actually it was the outbound message that brought you that sale. And because it's so hard to identify exactly what the customer journey looks like for every single person that you work with, you have to be omnipresent. Let's quickly go over the setting flow that you have to leverage to actually book appointments indirectly. First things first, you have to have systematic authority in place. What do I mean by that? The highest priority that you should have is being neutral. So if someone tells you I'm booking 10 appointments per 3 days right now, don't tell them it's solid, don't tell them it's good, don't tell them it's bad. It's just okay. You are neutral towards the specific situation that they have. Because if you talk bad about their situation, then that might bring up their ego. If you talk good about their situation, then you might not be able to really press on a pain point because you just put them above you in terms of the authority. So be neutral. Just say gotcha, okay, or makes sense, and that's it. You don't need to elaborate more. Be neutral. Second thing, be willing to walk away. You have to be willing to walk away from the booking and the deal, because the person that is willing to walk away will always be the one that ends up successful. And the third thing that you have to take into account here is that you have to show authority, but do that in a subtle way. So I'll give you an example about this. Whenever I speak to a potential agency client and I ask them how much revenue they make and they say 100K, I ask them per day. Now, you see how I did not say, oh, that's good, or oh, that's bad, or whatever. I literally just said, is that per day? And they usually meant per month. So they will be like, oh, no, that's per month. And what happens here is they immediately see me as the authority because they think, who is this guy working with that he assumes we make 100K every day? And that gives you the authority. It's the subtle things you say. It's the subtle way you communicate, the tonality you have, and the exact words that you use when talking. So now you're able to spark conversations. The first thing you have to do after you actually sparked that conversation is you have to build rapport. And building rapport comes down to breaking the ice by using one of the 2 C's. The 2 C's are commonality as well as compliment. If you're able to compliment them on something and you genuinely mean it, or if you're able to identify something that you have in common, you can break the ice. From there, ask an open-ended question to get them to open up a bit. Keep in mind that you want to ask and not state. The best salespeople on the planet ask the best questions, and your prospect has to come to a conclusion themselves. And the last thing that I want to state here is that you have to be genuinely curious about their situation. If you bring genuine curiosity, you'll get all the information you want. If you bring genuine curiosity, you will ask questions rather than making statements, and you can get them to open up a lot more easily. So be genuinely curious about their specific situation. From there, you want to set the goal. So you ask about their target revenue, and then if they don't tell you immediately, dig deeper. It is very, very, very important that you get the revenue goal that they have from them, because you need that to future pace exactly where they want to be. After that, pain point. As soon as they gave you a goal, dependent on that goal, dig for the pain point. So you could, for example, say, gotcha, that makes sense. What would you say is the biggest obstacle holding you back from getting there currently? And that way you dig out their exact pain point. From there, you need to press on the problem. So you leverage that pain point to your advantage. You want to use it as an incentive to actually book them in. And you can say something along these lines. I see that makes sense. I actually might be able to help you with that. Are you free for a quick call today? From there, if you leverage that conversational flow the right way, you give yourself authority, you ask the right questions, you press on the right pain points, you will have the application booked. Notice how I'm not saying the sales call is booked, I'm saying the application is booked. Why do I say that? One of the things that makes certain companies so valuable is that they are able to decline people. So if you, for example, look at Harvard University, why Harvard University as a whole has huge authority in their industry. But one of them is they literally decline 95% of all applicants immediately, which makes people want it even more. I think Harvard costs like $250K per year. So they literally decline 95% of people that would pay them $250,000, and you need to do the exact same thing because you want perfect clients only. Nothing else than that. You want people that can pay you the money that you want to be paid. You want people that are happy with your service. You want people that see the best results and that have the highest likelihood and probability of success. And client results and great case studies come down to two things. You gotta have the best fulfillment, but in addition to that, you gotta have the best clients. So you want the combination, which means decline people. It's not a sales call, it's an application call. From there, you want to frame them. Keep in mind that with every single framing sequence that you leverage, you have to provide value, provide third-party proof, and package it in a story. So after the call was booked, you want to establish one consistent communication channel with them that you communicate with them on prior to the call. From there, you want to connect with them on all social media platforms. Then you want to make sure marketing automations, so email and SMS automations, are set in place so that they get nurtured automatically. You call them 3 times before the call, 24 hours before, the morning of, and 1 hour before until they pick up. And what you say is this: hey John, this is Elias. I'm absolutely looking forward to our call tomorrow at 3 p.m. CT. Do you have the link to join the call? Boom. From there, you make sure they have the link and you nurture them to make sure that they show up. And from there, you want to make sure you have a landing page with AVSL in place that people get redirected to after booking a call, so they get framed automatically. And from there, the call will take place and you can sign them very, very easily. If you genuinely do all of these things, you will find it very easy to book appointments, make them show up, frame them properly, and close them on that call. I hope this helped you understand exactly what you have to be doing and what you should be focusing on. Because if you make anything less than at least 100K per month, then you clearly right now are facing a big marketing problem. If you can focus on appointment setting the right way and implement a system that actually brings you the exact clients that you want, and in addition to that, you focus on this one principle: talk to 100 people every single day. I know for a fact that it's going to bring you all the success that you wish for. And one of the reasons as to why I make these videos is because I know that there is someone out there that is in the situation that I was in 2 years ago, that wants to hit their first 10K month, their first 50K month, and even their first 100K month. And I want to be the person that not only guides them on exactly what to do step by step to get there, but also just be the person that inspires them to push more and truly do what they want to do. If you did find value in this video, then like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.